tartan hanging around, and we don't name the beers like, you know, we Johnny's Scottish dance or any, you know, or anything with sheep or anything like that.
That's a very modern approach.
So,
That's
yeah, and it's really cool that there are a lot of modern tunes, and there are even some ancient tunes. Like we have a popular beer called the King's Taxes. That tune's probably 300 years old.
Yeah.
Someone listening to this is probably knows differently, but anyway, it's an old tune.
Hey, we believe you.
And we also have another beer that's not on today called the Little Spree. That sounds another ancient tune. And then there are tunes up there that are written by people I know, so they're contemporary tunes.
Cool.
And I even, if I really have to, I'll write a tune. If I really want to name a beer someday, I will write a tune for it. So.
Yeah, like the number one beer, the Session Gap, which is a 3.3% ordinary bitter.
Yeah.
Which is great, sort of lunchtime beer.
Okay.
Or, you know, lightweight. Beer for lightweights with dart players that don't want to get wobbly halfway through the tournament or whatever. So that tune was a friend of ours, a Canadian fellow who he was visiting a pub that was to have a music session, and there was an interval between the two sets.
Yeah.
And they said, "Come on, up here, Bruce, play your pipes. And, you know, we need some music. Play your pipes." And he just impromptu got up, played his pipes, tried to play a tune. Bagpipes have a lot of tunes very similar. He went off the tune, went on to other melodies and riffs and this and that, and just nobody really noticed because he's a pro. But at the next day, he thought, you know, that was kind of cool. I think I'll develop that. Okay. And I'll name it for the session gap, the gap in the middle of the session.
Oh,
so
nice.
Sweet.
So that's an example.
That's super
cool.
And we liked it because it had the word session in it, because that's obviously a very sessionable beer at 3.3%.
Yeah.
It's actually not usually at 3.3%. So
3.5 is where it started. Yeah.
So how does that go about? Like, I'm sure that some beers are harder or different to brew than others, or it's not, or it's the same
Brewers
thing.
fuck up sometimes. That's how that happens.
Okay.
I don't know. Something happened back there.
That's all good.
They forget to order the right malt.
Something
Substitute.
Something happened. We lost 0.2%.
It's one of those. This'll work.
Is there like a bagpipe community in LA, or is it just? Oh, really?
Big. Yeah.
Really? So do you guys get together and then like some of the names will come from just stuff that you're saying, or like stuff?
Yeah, sometimes
tunes that you guys are
I'm
playing?
in a pipe band called the Pasadena Scots, which I was privileged to help start 10 years ago.
Nice.
And we have tunes named after things we've done. Like we went to Scotland, and one of our guys has flamboyant blue, green, and purple hair, and
nice.
He's, and so. And we went to George Square, so the tune is the Peacock of George Square, kinds of things like that. So cool. The tunes definitely have to do with, and in fact, another friend of mine, I don't know the story behind it, but he wrote the tune called Lost in London. So of course, there's obviously some kind of story behind that one. And
that's awesome.
I'm imagining this dude with the colorful hair and the traditional kilt, just
Styling.
set up like with the traditional award,
And
awesome.
he's half Japanese, and
all right.
He's
breaking the mold right there.
Yeah, that's dope. Right.
That's cool.
Well, let's try another one.
Yeah.
What do we got?
You want to go back to the cold fizzy?
So the next one is one of my favorites. I love brown ales, and I think we make a really good one. So that second one there is called Cutting Bracken.
Cool.
Bracken being an 8-foot tall fern that grows very well in wet climates.
And then it goes a red-brown color when it dries.
Yeah,
and then
nice.
the whole countryside is covered with that.
Yeah, the frost kills it.
Cool.
You
always like brown ales.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So would this be considered a cask?
No, this is back to draft.
It's back to draft.
Cold,
okay, my bad.
It goes pretty well as cask, though. We've been trying to find beers that will do double duty as cask and draft, but it's actually quite difficult to do that because once you chill these beers down, the flavor is diminished a little bit, but this is one of the beers that does really well in both formats.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
That's cool.
So when you do them like that, do you do like a double batch, or can you do like one batch and then split it?
Split the batch.
That reminds me, I'm gonna pop up in a minute and get you guys. We totally skipped over the nitro beers, but we have some amazing nitro beers on.
All right.
So.
All right.
Excited about that. What's a nitro beer? Tell me about that.
So normally for draft beer, you carbonate that with
Right.
CO2, but for nitro beers, you basically nitrogenate them, which basically just means you use nitrogen instead of CO2,
That's pretty
or a
cool.
mixture of those two. And so that actually was developed. Most people are familiar with that because that's how they serve Guinness. And
Right.
so you know how it cascades and it
Yeah,
has
yeah.
this nice white creamy head. And that is actually was developed to be able to serve beer from a keg that would emulate cask ale.
Oh, okay.
So if anyone out there likes those types of beers, they should really look into cask ale because
Yeah.
that's the genesis of that kind of beer. But we make a couple of really great ones. A great
Nice.
dry Irish
Cool.
stout. We've got a fresh batch on. So it's nice and roasty, and then we have a lovely oatmeal stout on. I think I'll get you.
I'll grab a couple.
Yeah, go grab
All
them.
right, cool. I think I tried the King's Taxes last time I was here. Is that one of your regular nitros that you guys have?
I know King's Taxes is on nitro. Don't tell anyone, but I'm not a fan. I mean, I think the King's Taxes should just be a cask ale. That's like one of our original cask ales,
Cool.
and occasionally we do put some on nitro.
All right.
There are people who, in this world, who always just go for the nitro. So,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't.
I would.
And you said you originally, when you first started this, you weren't cask and you moved to it?
No,
Or-
we started off as all cask.
All
Can you
cask.
imagine? So you can understand why people were thinking, are they crazy? How are they
confused?
going to survive with cask ale in LA?
Yeah. So it went from cask to you know,
It looks like a little bit of everything.
yeah, a
now.
little bit of everything.
Yeah.
What
Well,
do you-
cask can be anything. I mean, it's traditionally, we think of it as British, but you can make any kind of beer and put it in cask. It's not always advisable. I mean, but we've done IPAs. Cask actually lets you do really fun things because there's a lot of historical recipes that are great on cask. And if you think about it, the technology that we know today for kegs and refrigeration has not been around that long. So cask ale was the only thing going. So we've done some really fun things and made like some historical IPAs like from 1918 and
Yeah,
other things
cool.
like that. So
That's cool.
yeah.
That's really good.
My slogan for this beer is, "It's better for you." A variation of the Guinness slogan.
It definitely
Which
tastes
was,
like
it's good
it's
for
good
you.
for you.
Good.
it tastes like it's good for you. That's really
This
good.
one, this is the cut and dry, or
Yeah.
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 cut and dry.
Oh,
Nice.
very cool.
Yeah, the other
Dig
one
it.
is not dissimilar, but it's more robust, the oatmeal stout. So this is a little bit smoother.
Usually get real full with oatmeal stouts for some reason. Like, just feel like I ate a full meal.
So you moved into all these different other kinds of beers and process of making beers. What would you think the future, like, are you looking to do something next? Are you expanding on what you're doing now? or-
Before that though, you guys, how long is we're in the tap room right now.
Yes.
How long has the tap room been open?
The same as the brewery. So everything opened in June of 2014.
Okay.
So a year and 2.5 years.
Cool. Okay.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
I'm amazed we survived this long.
I'm not with these
It's
flavors.
a struggle. No, it's it's not path to instant millionaire.
No.
It's a struggle, just like any other business.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, what we do is the same thing. Like we got to start way
Yeah.
bottom. You know,
Yeah.
like me and him both work in film production.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we do this because we like this. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we like this stuff and we like the culture of it, and it's fun for us. So we decided when we had some time. That's why it took us so long to get over here. I don't know. I don't think we've talked about it, but me and Drew tried to block out some time to contact you to try to get over here.
Yeah.
We were like, oh man, this isn't gonna work. 'Cause he was traveling and we were back here, back and forth.
Yeah.
It's just like our thing was trying to do something that we wanted to do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think it's cool to see other people that do something they want to do,
Yeah.
even though it's
sure.
going to be hard. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the best things when you succeed.
Uh-huh.
So to
Hard
ans-
things are hard.
Yeah. What's the future?
to answer your question about the future, we are not really in a position to reveal that because we have some big plans.
Oh.
They're secret.
I like that.
We can't let the cat out of the bag.
Lots of secrets.
Were you thinking about beers with the actual beer, or
Yeah, just anything that you got, you know.
What's on the docket?
Not, yeah, if you don't want to
talk about it.
don't unveil anything.
It
that
might
you
not
don't
come
want to,
true.
but-
It might not come true,
Well,
but
Yeah.
well, one thing that we've constantly talked about is opening another location. So probably a satellite tasting room. So that's potentially in the works. We are in talks with someone right now. If that doesn't work out, that'll still be our plan, and we'll continue to look for a location.
Cool. Cool.
We're going to stay in Van Nuys, and across the street from Budweiser, we're going to
Yeah.
put in a big plant
Yeah.
the size of Miller
Nice.
or
That'd be dope.
Lagunitas.
Yeah.
No,
That'd be dope.
One day,
Oh,
the
man.
Lagunitas guy had a job at a printing company in Van Nuys. Did you? Isn't that amazing? The
Oh,
guy
I didn't
who
know
runs
that.
Lagunitas.
That's pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
Incredible. So it can be done. You know, everyone starts. Well, not everyone, but you know, there's a lot of great stories of people starting really small.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
encouraging.
That's cool. So, well, one thing that we talk about when we first started the podcast, we had to like basically introduce ourselves and tell what we
Yeah.
do. And we told you we work in the film industry, so we usually talk about like our day to day, like because it's always different. And I'm sure
always
like
weird
running a
happening.
brewery, there's always something that you either didn't think of or something's happening. Like, Alastair, what is your day to day in the brewery?
Well, I alternate between doing sort of engineering upgrades. My most recent one was trench drain. Behind, if you look behind us, you'll see that black thing that catches all the water. It goes wall to wall, and it was a little bit involved.
Okay.
We were flooding out the tasting room on occasion.
Just building slopes, and the river went all the way through to the elephant door.
All right.
Dang.
If they forgot to turn something off or whatever. So between that and posting about what activities are happening in the evening, and organizing the food truck schedule, and taking phone calls about we want to have a party, and in a certain time, how many people can we bring a birthday cake? What food truck do you have that night? And stuff like that.
I was very evil and I put Alastair's phone number on our website so he
Oh,
gets all the calls about when are you open?
Amazing. So you guys, the tap room's open 5 to 10, right? Weekdays.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone should come by.
What's funny about you mentioned the food trucks is my girlfriend follows like food stuff on LA like all the time, and she gets a bunch of food messages or whatever, and she saw this one amazing food truck that always posts outside of MacLeod Ale. I can't remember, it was some kind of barbecue truck, I think. I'm not quite sure which one it was,
Burnt
but
to a crisp.
probably, yeah. And
I really just love to say that. There, free advertising.
yeah, there you go.
Crisp, Texas.
I think so. Yeah, I think that was it. So she, when you guys first contacted, or we first contacted you guys and hooked up for the first episode that we did with you guys, she was like, "Wait, I know that brewery because of the food truck, because they always like say outside of MacLeod, Like,
Well, that's what we hope for because, there needs to be a good symbiotic relationship between us and the food trucks. I feel guilty sometimes if we're not all that busy and there's a food truck out there, but then the other part of me says, well, they can do their part to publicize where they are and bring customers through.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
It's not just about us delivering customers to them.
100%.
They can bring customers in through our door. So,
Yeah.
I wanted to get back to another plan I had, but I don't know if we should discuss this in public. But should I just go for it?
Well, I would need to know what it was.
Oh, well, you can't. You're about to find out. One thing that keeps coming to my mind, I love what we're doing, and I'm very solid on our British, the beers that we're doing. We're doing something different. I'm proud of the quality of our beers. But every so often I do get a little jealousy twinge when I see everybody selling the crap out of their whatever beers with whatever in them.
Yeah.
So I do have this idea, maybe this year or next year, to create sort of a sub-brand, a brewery within a brewery similar to what they have going on with Lost Abbey and Port Brewing.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Except kind of the opposite, because the Lost Abbey Port Brewing was the broad approach, and then Lost Abbey came in with the Belgian styles. So I would do the opposite. We already have the British, and then bring in kind of a niche brewery of like just fun beers, one-ofs, whatever we want, whatever Josiah feels like brewing.
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
and another thing we're very interested in doing is if we get another facility, a duplicate license, any kind of building with space. We would love to do more bourbon barrel aging, or
Oh, cool, yeah.
or